spirit that is between Old Cemetery, this place, and this house right over here. The reason I say that is the house over here was built on top of the cemetery. Is that what it was? It was built on top, right? Or around it?
Yeah, she just...
And then they took the headstones and
she threw them down the gully. They rented equipment and then threw the headstones down.
threw them down the gully, which is basically disrespectful.
And illegal.
And
So here we are at Hope Cemetery in Albion, Pennsylvania. There's an old part and there's a new part. So what we're going to do is we're going to go look at it. We're going to put it together, make a show for you, and we're going to see if there's any unexpected things that show up in the pictures that we took and the video. See you there.
On the other hand, the sun is setting and you're in the middle of the cemetery where you're telling ghost stories. Right. So, being an adult knows doesn't count. This is Jessie. Now, Jessie, if you haven't picked up on it yet, James and my mother have done a lot of things in this cemetery, a lot of investigations, and have a lot of stories. My mom was telling James, tell me if I'm telling this incorrectly, explaining how, do you see on the top of her headstone, it looks like a little lamb laying down. That signifies anytime you see a little lamb,
it's a young child or a baby.
Yes, and my mom was explaining this to James, and what she didn't know was he was taping her as she was explaining all of this, and when she said the name Jessica, which is the name that's on the headstone, there was a little voice in the background of the tape when they played it back that said Jessie. So she prefers to be called Jessie, apparently.
No, Jessica.
Jessica. Oh, you called her Jessie.
It says Jessie.
Got it backwards.
But she insisted her name is Jessica.
Jessica. So this
According
is...
to the...
And as you can see, her headstone is not one of the newer ones, but she's got all kinds of treasures because we adopted her. Because anyone who's going to make their voice heard that clearly and that loudly deserves to be recognized and remembered.
actually came over twice. It was once when I was with you, and then once when we were in here just investigating, it came over. Jessica.
She'd be about 85 private.
Private Lewis Jones. He's actually a Confederate soldier, and what I've heard is that the reason the headstones are pointed for Confederate soldiers is so the Union soldiers didn't sit on them. He was on one side of the war, and his brother was a Union soldier, and they said that they never had a peaceful dinner when they got together because the war never ended, even when it was done, because every family dinner, every family meeting became a discussion about who was right and who was wrong.
Well, Lewis.
Different people called the Lady in Black, but here at Hope Cemetery, Our Lady in Black is a woman that has been seen by different people, usually around this area, around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and she looks like an old Victorian dress and like she was here for a funeral or something, and she'll just be seen walking through the trees, and then she just disappears. Whether this is true, whether it's you're sitting in the middle of the cemetery and your brain's overworking and it's a trick of the light, or there's really a Lady of Black here, that's up to you to decide. I think James has some story.
I'll get the name for you.
So this is the headstone for Clayton O'Ball. Clayton O'Ball's not actually buried here. He's actually buried in Germany, but he has a headstone here. There's some coins on his headstone, and those coins you'll see on some of the headstones, each coin has a different significance. So when people place the coins, one coin means that they were there when the person died, and one means that they served with the person. Each coin has a different significance. So you'll see the different types of coins there. Clayton O'Ball, his body is buried. The original headstone was placed in Flanders Field in Germany. He's plot B, row 1, grave 2, and if you come around and look at the headstone, it lists all of that information.
I always like this one.
James, he's my buddy.
Yeah. James likes to play with a cannon, they tell me.
I'll tell the history of James, and then you can tell other things about James if you'd like, because I know this is your friend. James Hubbard, his father died before he did. He came home from work and he didn't feel well. And he's like, okay, I'm gonna go lay down, and he passed away. And not long after that, little James here got sick, and as you can see, he wasn't even 7 years old when he died. He was in bed, and family members came knowing the end was near to say goodbye. And there's actually a newspaper article we have of the coverage on when he was died, and they said that family and friends came to say goodbye, and he comforted them with words that you would expect of someone of a much older age to be sharing with people that are coming to say goodbye. Part of me wonders if James's father came to come take him home. So, but I know, do you have any stories about your friend here?
He likes to giggle and follow you around. That's my intuition on it. He comes across on audio too. Like we'll be in this section and like, hey James, are you around? You'll hear yes. And you'll be using the spirit box and I'll be like, so who's here? James? I think he kind of follows you around if you're in here. Wants to play. I do have a photo that actually looks like a young man in this type of coat and stuff. It was taken right up over there with the fog, in the fog, as part of my presentation.
What happens is with this type of headstone, they're hollow inside. Water will get inside. We know how Erie winters are. The water freezes, expands, wind blows, and eventually the headstones give up. If this bothers you, seeing headstones like this, we need help. The Hope Cemetery Association needs volunteers. The Historical Society, we need volunteers. We need volunteers to help with find the headstones, find the people who belong to the headstones. Because family of the Historical Society and the Hope Cemetery Association, please, I'm the president of the Historical Society, my mother is in the Hope Cemetery Association. Please talk to either of us if this is something that you think you'd like to be involved with. We're trying to find grants to help prevent things like this from happening and to correct it when it does.